Landon Barnes committed to Ole Miss yesterday. We're going to take a look at him today. You guys let me know what you think about this kid. Not a whole lot of Rebels I've watched so far for their 2026 class, so feel free to let me know if there's anybody you want me to put on my YouTube. 6'3.5", 235. Absolute powerhouse, Duncanville in Texas. You guys let me know what you think about this kid. One thing to remind, I do it every time we watch a kid at Duncanville, at Carrollton. He's going to be playing the best competition in the country. So these aren't just normal high school offensive linemen you'll see him beat. So what to say about Landon Barnes? I think this kid's very explosive, but I've seen it a couple times, and this is just the first time you'll see it show up. And first step's great. It's not an athletic issue. I just think he has some trouble timing the snap. You'll see it here and then in a couple more plays where he's just a half step off, and it not that's not even the bad one. There's another one that makes my point a bit better, but you can see when he does time it, he's so explosive, and the speed to power stuff shows up a bit. At 6'3.5", he's going to be on the smaller end of defensive ends, so that speed to power stuff matters. This is, I think, the worst first step, but this is the thing about this kind of stuff is if I see it, I can tell you Duncanville coaches see it, and I'm sure it's something they've been working on the off season. So when we watch the senior year tape, when that comes out in 3 or 4 months, I would not be surprised if that's something that's completely gone. Absolutely something that I'm not worried about when recruiting a kid is if he's timing the snap, because that's something that gets picked up through repetitions. The actual explosiveness, the athletic, the first step, that's something that you can't really just drill into a kid. That's something that more or less either has it or doesn't. Certainly gets better as time goes on. But another thing about the length, you'll see when he doesn't get a good first step, he might have some trouble setting the edge right now. So what that means is he just doesn't have the size to not be strong and just set the edge. I think as he gets better in the weight room, as he gets enrolled at whatever college he ends up at in the weight room, the off-season strength programs, you'll see him get a lot better in that regard. But if he was to walk into Oxford right now, I think that would be the one thing that would stop him from seeing the field, because you can see when he does get a good jump, you can see the speed to power show up. Look at this edge set here. This is probably a 20-yard gain if our guy Landon Barnes doesn't make the play here. And you'll see that show up a couple times. When he gets a really good first step, he's good at setting the edge, but otherwise leaves something to be desired right now, but certainly something that I don't think is all that hard to get better at. So what do you like about this kid? I absolutely love this kid's upside as a pass rusher. Colin Simmons is a kid that went to Duncanville, obviously rich history of them producing talent that doesn't only play at the next level, but Colin Simmons is one of the best players in the country, and he's not even eligible in this upcoming draft. The kid was only a true freshman, was just eating up competition last year. Texas. It's crazy. But this kid, I think, is not as far along as Colin Simmons was, but that's the fact that you're even being brought up in the same sentence as that kid is very, very indicting of how good of a football player we're watching Landon Barnes is right now. So I talk about upside with this kid, and if we're saying upside a lot for a prospect, I think you're in a pretty good spot. But yeah, real twitchy, like you could tell when he times the snap just how good of a pass rusher this kid can be. I think he's also very flexible. We'll be talking about bend as a something that he does better than a lot of kids in the country. I'm very excited for the senior year tape because I think it's going to look really good. And obviously that's what really matters is how this kid is not only walking into Oxford, but a year after being in the strength and conditioning program, a year after being with the defensive line coaches and all that. So that's Landon Barnes. You guys let me know what you think about this kid. Thanks for watching.